Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dorothy. You can call me Dora for short. So on this channel we talk about all things family reunion in Germany, working in Germany, living or schooling in Germany. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then I need you to stay tuned and grab all the information you'll be needing from this video. Let's quickly get into it. On today's video, we'll be talking about family reunion from Nigeria. That is family reunion for couples, husbands going to meet with their wives or wives relocating to join their husbands in Germany. Now, this one is specifically for those with resident permit, permanent residents, or German citizens. Now, I made that differentiation is because there is also family reunion for blue card holders. So in this particular video for today, we'll be talking about German family reunion for those with permanent resident permit or resident permit, as the case may be. So now, family reunion in Nigeria takes up to 1 year, 6 months. This is as at 2022 and this year 2023. So let me explain this. Now, once you apply for your family reunification visa using this portal, it's immediately you get a feedback, a reply, a mail saying that you will be contacted through an email giving you the exact date for your interview, and then on that email you'll be given a reference number. Please do well to note your reference number, because that reference number will be the number on any mail interaction you and the embassy will be having. So in case you want to send the embassy a mail to check up on your process, to track your process, you would easily just give them your reference number and they can pick it up from there. It will be easier for them to locate your file, or as the case may be. So now, what are the requirements? What are the documents you will be going to the embassy with for your interview? This is it on the screen, and I'm also going to be putting them down. I'll put a link down, so the link will take you directly to this requirement, the checklist. This is like a checklist. So this is what guides you when you are preparing your documents to go to the embassy for your appointment. Now, the first on the list is your application form. So you have to fill 2 application forms applying for the reunification visa with your spouse. The second one is your declaration form. This form is simply a form that is declaring that all the information you are giving on this, all the information you'll be giving to the embassy, they are correct information and none have been forged. All the documents are correct and they are complete. It will be hand signed. When I mean hand signed, you have to sign it with a pen. Yeah. So the next one on the list is your questionnaire form. So the questionnaire form is a form like this. This form is basically the questions that you'll be asked. This is where you have to fill in your spouse, his name, his date of birth, your family members, their date of birth, their names, their contacts, the secondary school you attended, the primary school you attended, basically everything about yourself, like your bio data. This is what this form is about. Now, the next on the list is your passport photograph. Now you have to submit 2 passport photographs for each person. When I mean for each person, 2 passport photographs of yourself and 2 passport photographs of your spouse. And this is the dimension of the passport photograph you are to submit. Yes, because every embassy has their own dimension. I think the width of the passport, like this. Now the next on the list is your valid passports, like your passports, what we call international passports. Yes, your valid passport with at least 6 months of validity. For those that would do change of surname, like you're changing your name from your maiden name to your husband's surname, you have to attach that passport. Because let's say you have a passport before you change your name, the passport where you are bearing your maiden name, you have to attach it to the new passport you have, the one that bears your husband's name. So you simply attach it together, go with it when you are going for your interview. It is very, very important. Then the next one is your birth certificate or certificate of local birth registration or affidavit of age declaration. Yeah, so if you have any of this, it's accepted. Then the next is copies of your spouse living in Germany, the copies of his entry and exit stamp from the country, like from Nigeria. The next on the list is copies of data page of your spouse living in Germany. Then after that, you have, for spouse with German nationalities, you have to bring copies of their residence title. Yeah, so the next on that, which is number 10, is passport photograph of your spouse. I've mentioned that earlier. 2 passports for yourself, the applicant, and 2 passports for your spouse living in Germany. Then the next is your marriage certificate. The next on that, the list is marriage certificates and divorce decree from previous marriage. So for those that their spouse were married before now, yeah, so you have to submit from the previous marriage and the divorce certificate as well. The next on the list is affidavit of spinterhood / bachelorhood, as the case may be, and this document has to be disposed by your parent or head of the family in cases where both parents are no longer alive. So the deponent of this affidavit has to be your parents, either your mom or your dad or head of the family in the cases where the parents of the person are no longer alive. Then the next on the list is school certifications, your primary school certificate, your first school leaving certificate, your WAEC certificate, your university certificates, all certifications that you have to take them along with you to the embassies. Take copies along with you, original and copies. Please note that all these documents, most of them you have to submit original. For those like your school certificate, you have to give your original and the photocopy. Your marriage certificates, of course, you have to go with the original and the photocopy, and all those other ones that are applicable, you have to go with the original and the photocopies as well. Then the next on the list is photo from wedding, your marriage photographs, the traditional marriage photographs, or your court marriage photographs. If you have all that, you have to take copies with you when you are going to the embassy for your interview. Then the next document on the list is proof of birth for children who are not going to move to Germany with you. Let's say you have children or people that have children and these children are not going to relocate with them to Germany, so they have to you have to give the address and the contact number of the person or the parents, the other parents that the family member or parents or family member that the children will be staying with. Please pardon me. Then the next on the list is your A1 certificate, your Dutch certificate, A1 certificate. So basically these certificates, you have to go to language school or you learn online. You have to go to Goethe Institute. They are the ones that are issuing this certificate, because you have to sit for the exams and have the certificates when you pass. Yes, let me not say if you pass. When you pass, you go with the certificate to the interview. Mind you, let me also let you know that the A1 certificate, if you do not have it at the time of your interview, it's not a big deal, but you have to note that you have to submit this document to the embassy before your visa is issued. If you have not submitted this document by the time your lawyer comes for your verification and all that, please, it's going to be a problem. You have to submit. It's part of the mandatory requirements document you have to submit to the embassy. The next on the list is up-to-date proof of residence of your spouse living in Germany. We call this one Meldebestätigung. That is what it's called over here in Germany, Meldebestätigung. This is the proof of your husband's residency, saying that, okay, he has an apartment that will be able to accommodate you when you get over here. This is where you'll be staying over here in Germany. And most times it has to do with the size of the apartment. They measure in square meters. Yeah, there's a particular square meter that is accepted for the process. So I would leave all that details in the caption below. I will drop all those details in the caption below. The next on the list is verification and visa fee. Now, verification fee for those in southern states, those in the south, I think southeast and all that, their own verification fee is 180,000. It used to be 150,000, but due to an increment, as at my own time, when I did my verification, when I did my interview and I paid the verification fee, it was 150,000. But recently, I think it started this year, the money was increased to 180,000 naira. So for the northern states, they pay 250,000. The northern states, the Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Plateau, name it. The verification fee is 250k. For visa fee is €75 flat for all adults. Yes. The last but not the least is the courier envelope. So when you are going for your interview, you have to go with a courier envelope. It's one of the important requirements for this process. Yes, it's one of the important requirements for this process, because most times they won't even let you into the embassy premises if you do not have this courier envelope. It's important to them, this requirement. Let's move on to the next thing on the video today. So you've gotten your date of interview. So let me mention that once you apply for this interview online, you apply for your date online. Now, currently, it takes 1 year and 2 to 3 months before you get your exact date for the interview. It takes a year or 1 year, 3 months before you get your exact date for the interview. So let's say you applied okay, let me use myself as an example now. I applied for my reunification visa process in August 2021. I got my exact date for the appointment mail in September 2022. So if you do the maths, it's almost 1 year and 1 month before I got my exact date. Got the exact date in September to come for the interview in October. So when they give you your mail, they send your mail to you, you have like 3 weeks in between before the day of your interview. Let me say that again. You applied and it's now time. They send you a mail to come for your interview. They will send you a date in between that date when you receive the mail to come for the interview and the interview date exactly. You have some weeks in between to put your documents together, prepare yourself for the interview proper. Now, the next one, I'm quickly going to rush up because the video is already taking so long. So the next one is after your interview, please, I'm going to do a dedicated video for the interview and the common questions they ask during the interviews and how you should prepare yourself for the interview. I'm going to do a dedicated video for that. So please, I would like you to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that whenever I post a new video, you'll be the first to know about it. Okay, moving forward, after your interview, you will have some months interval. Some persons, they are lucky, they have maybe 1 month, 2 months, some 3 months, some even take up to 6 months before their lawyer comes for verification. So now, note that all documents you have submitted to the embassy, and the embassy is going to assign a lawyer to come and do the verification, to go to all those places, the locations you've written, your address, to find out if those documents that you submitted are authentic, they are not forged, they are true. So the lawyer is going to go to those different places, different states, and do his verification. So now, once your lawyer comes to you, your lawyer finally calls you and say, hello, I'm so and so from German embassy, I'm your lawyer, I'm going to come for your verification. Now you have to prepare to receive your lawyer, prepare yourself, because your lawyer is definitely going to ask you questions, especially questions regarding the documents you submitted. They want to see if what you submitted to the embassy is true, you have a mental picture of it, you filled the form and there's nothing forged about it, because it's going to give you a form to fill, and most of those things you'll be filling on that form are those things you've already filled in the questionnaire. I don't know if you understand. So now the next one is the lawyer finally comes for verification. He gives you the verification form. He would ask you questions about your family, your siblings, where you schooled, and your witnesses. Note that some lawyers do not ask so much questions. They don't. Some of them go to your witnesses. They go and do their verification even before calling you. Some of them will call you before starting the process. So most times it's not a, how will I say it? It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of process. Yeah, so different lawyers and their different techniques of verification and how they do their verification jobs. So make it easier for the applicant. Some are very tough, so you just have to brace up. Yeah, so that is why you have this information. So you have to brace up and prepare. Now, after that, after the verification process has been complete, your lawyer has gone to do your verification. Please, note that verification is not free. You have to have paid your verification money to the embassy before now. You're not paying the lawyer at hand for verification. You have paid verification fee already to the embassy. So note that, because verification fee, like I mentioned earlier, are part of the things you'll be submitting to the embassy. Yeah. Now, after that, the lawyer would revert. He will report back to the embassy upon his findings during his verification. He has gone to your school, he has gone to the hospital where you were born, he has gone to your university, he has gone to your primary school, he has gone to see your parents, your siblings, or even go as far as interviewing your neighbors, the ones you put their name, maybe your neighbors, your witnesses. Some go as far as going to your village where you did the marriage to be sure that, okay, there was a marriage, the marriage actually took place. Yeah, some lawyers are like that, they will go that far. So after all that is done, they would revert back to the embassy. So when they revert back to the embassy, they write their reports, because they always write a report. They write their reports, and the embassy is aware, okay, this person's verification process has been done. If for people that do not have any issue, everything was complete, documents, the verification process was complete, no issues, then okay. For those that have issues, the embassy would, if you need supporting documents, if you need to submit another document to support what you've already submitted before, the embassy would email you. They would let you know via email that okay, in lieu with your verification process or with your application process for German Reunion visa, you have to submit these and these documents to support the documents you have submitted before now. Okay, so for those that don't have any issue after the verification process, after the lawyer comes, verifies you and all, they now get in touch with Ausland Behörde. So what they do, what the embassy will do, they will now send you a mail saying that verification has been complete and that they've reached out to the foreign office. Yes, that they've reached out to the foreign office and that you would hear from them. So they reach out to Ausland Behörde. Once they reach out to them, they reach out to your spouse. They tell him to submit some documents. Some of the documents your spouse will submit over there in Germany includes his house contract, that's the Melden-Beschädigung, his job contracts, and his pay slips. I think around within 3 to 6 months pay slip. Yes, he will submit all that. Some people go as far as submitting their translated marriage certificate. Yes, because you have to at some point translate your marriage certificate to Dutch. Yes, for them to quickly understand it. Yeah. So after all that is done and everything is intact, everything is complete, Charlie, they now revert back to the embassy in Nigeria. So they'll send a mail across to the embassy in Nigeria that everything is okay. They give a thumbs up that okay, you can now issue this person the visa. So once they've given them thumbs up, you can issue this person the visa, the embassy now sends you a mail asking you to bring your passport, asking you to bring your travel insurance and your travel dates. Yes, so they will send you a mail telling you that you can submit your passports, your travel dates and your travel insurance. These are the 3 documents you have to submit. Then you submit it to the embassy. Once they receive it, they will now issue your visa to you. And when they issue your visa, they will stamp your visa on your passport. They will now return back all the other documents that you had submitted at the beginning of the process. Yeah, so they do that and they return all the other documents you have submitted, and then you are ready to travel to meet your spouse. So now you can now be happy that your process is complete and everything is okay. You are going to meet your spouse. Now I'm going to have to end this video because we've come to the end of today's video, and I'm sure we've covered all the topics as it regards requirements and the processes. But on our next video, I'm going to be talking about family reunion with blue card holders. So note that the process is similar. The waiting period is similar. You have to wait as well as every other family reunion process. But what's the only difference is there's no verification of documents for blue card holders. They don't do verification of documents. They don't do A1. They don't have to do the A1 Dutch course here. So in our next video, we'll be diving into that properly. I just wanted to give you a scratch of what the next video will be. So please do well to like, subscribe and turn on your notification button so that when I post another video, you'll be first to know. Thank you and bye for now.